I can't fix my relationship with my brother no matter what I do. I, 16F, can't get along with my brother, 13M, no matter how much I try. I feel like this hate and resentment we have for each other is growing more and more over the past few years, and I don't have enough time to fix things between us as he won't mature in the meantime. I'm leaving soon. English is not my first language. I don't know if I'll be able to put my feelings and thoughts into my little rant, but I'll try. A little background on us, if it matters. Up until I was 7 and my brother was 4, we faced physical and emotional abuse from my father, whom we both are visiting right now in the summer. Our parents have been divorced since 2016 to 2017. I'm writing this as my brother is playing on his PS4 in the living room. My brother didn't get to live more with my dad before he left, but he did face an absolute nightmare of an early childhood. He was beaten almost every other day. I was 2, but that's not the point. I think it affected him more. I don't think it ever left him. Since my dad has left us, my brother has been stuttering nonstop. It calms down when we're away from my dad, but since we came a week ago, he got so much worse that every word he says in a sentence is a struggle because of his stuttering. He didn't see my dad last year as the year before he got into a fight with my dad and called my mom every day to book him a ticket back home. Last year I visited my dad alone, but over the months following the summer he began talking to my dad again and they became friends. Yet the second he met my dad, his stuttering has gotten so much worse that it breaks my heart that he struggles to speak sometimes. They're good friends, even better friends than I ever was with my dad. I can tell my dad is more careful with his words around him than he ever was with me, which hurts me a lot, but I'm really happy he gets to see this side of my dad that I never did and never will. My brother is very, very hard to live with. He's excruciatingly annoying that it makes everyone just want to leave the house or stay away from him no matter what. He takes pleasure in making our little half-sister cry, 5 years old. He goes out of his way to annoy me, even when we're on good terms. He made my mom cry a few weeks ago because he lies too much, and he flat out laughs in her face when she is genuinely sad that he's acting in such a way that no one ever wants to be around him. When that does happen and we leave him by himself, he gets depressed and plays the victim, saying everything he ever did was a misunderstanding and we all just like to lie, specifically me. A few months ago I broke down after we had reached home from school. As the whole ride there he was putting on Brazilian gym rap music and it was so loud that I got a headache. When I told him to lower the volume, he said I'm faking the headache, / it's not his fault I have a headache. I sat for 25 minutes because no matter how much I try to beg him to lower it, or even take away his phone and do it myself, it ends up getting physical or he gets amused by my torture. When I'd touch my forehead and close my eyes, he'd let out a little chuckle. I thought about harm myself and jumping out the fridge because all he's done up until that moment was already taking a toll on me. He's a sweet soul, genuinely. My brother is nice deep down and he's caring and thoughtful, but just never with me. He always thinks I'm lying, I'm out to get him, when I'm only looking to have a painless, no screaming, calm time when I'm forced to be around him. The driver took us home, and the moment I walked into the door I broke down in front of my mom and I cried for a few hours. I told him to his face that I'm happy I'll be leaving in a year 'cause I'd rather live away from my whole family and study in a foreign country where I'll be missing my mom every day. I'm very attached to her. Then look at him because his presence automatically shifts my mood, and I'm always on guard. I cried for hours and hours. No matter what approach I take with him, a week later we end up in the same situation. We haven't been talking for 2 weeks, and he doesn't annoy me as much anymore. He doesn't talk to me. But the times where he accidentally does something that annoys me, a small smile appears on his face when he realizes so. A smile of victory. Today he came into our room that we're sharing. He asked me about a makeup product that was laying on my bed, and I ignored him until I saw him counting the cash that my grandma gave me. She gave him the same amount too. He kept counting it, and I had to stop verbally telling him to stop, so I grabbed it, and he resisted until I raised my voice a little. He only stopped because he knew my dad would come and ask what's wrong. I feel so hopeless. I told my mom to get him a therapist because he is genuinely evil with me, and some certain people in such a way that makes me think he doesn't genuinely hate me. He just enjoys mentally torturing me and others. I'm leaving in a year exactly. I'll continue my studies outside the country. I love him so much, but I can't deal with the pain and the endless crying. He won't mature in a year, and it'll be too late when I leave. I'm scared that we won't ever be the same as before. I will leave, and we won't talk anymore unless it's urgent. I know he's too young, and I am too. I know I shouldn't be thinking about this, but I just know that his resentment towards me won't just end by itself. And I can never go to him again and ask him to be respectful to me so we can be friends again. I have a feeling that unless he's treated, he will continue being this way forever. My dad is 50. My brother is a carbon copy of him, physical-wise and actions-wise. My grandma still threatens my dad to leave him and go stay with my aunt because he does the same things my brother does to my mom. Lie, guilt trip, and mentally torture her. I'm so tired.